Hi, thanks for joining. This video is the third video in the Graph Explorer series. If you haven't watched the first two videos, I invite you to watch them in the Academy playlist on the Timbr YouTube channel. In this video, we will continue exploring the features of the Graph Explorer and dive into the main menu settings of the Graph Explorer, learning how we can leverage different settings to highlight insights when exploring the data. Great, so let's begin. We'll start by reviewing the options on the top menu bar. First, at any point during a given exploration, we can change the knowledge graph we are exploring by simply clicking on the arrows on the top left and choosing a different knowledge graph. Or we can start over using the same knowledge graph we're using. In addition, we can choose to open a saved exploration that we previously explored, or we can save our current exploration if we'd like to explore it again in the future. Next, and this would probably be the first thing we'd want to do when starting an exploration, is to enter full screen mode to get the best view possible. After every action during the exploration, we can click to undo or redo our action. This is very handy as we can explore all options without the fear of destroying what we've created in the graph. Next to the undo and redo buttons, we have the graph settings, which we will dive into shortly. Next to settings, there's the graph filter, where we can choose to show, hide, or even isolate different nodes or edges based on relationships, properties, or general options. Next, we have the Fetch All Properties, which will fetch all properties for all the nodes on the graph in case we haven't selected them when adding the nodes. After Fetch Properties, we have the airplane logo, which is also known as Find Data Connections. This functionality can be found both here as well as in the Node Group menu. The difference is that in the Node Group menu, we can select to add data connections to specific concepts, where here, we can see all the possible data connections for all the nodes on the graph. After Find Data Connections, we have the plus logo, which is useful in case we want to add additional nodes that don't appear on the graph. Finally, at any time, especially as the exploration grows, we can always use the search bar in order to search our graph for specific nodes. When searching, Timbr will focus, highlight, and open the side panel for the node we searched. Great! So we covered the entire menu aside from the graph settings, so let's get into it. In the graph settings, there are multiple options. First, at any time, we can reset the graph settings to default and start from fresh. Below that, we have the physics section, which enables us to choose from auto, on, or off. Auto allows the graph to rearrange itself for a certain number of seconds until it stops. This is the default behavior, as you can see in the limit below of 8 seconds. When choosing on, the graph will continue and actively rearrange itself all the time. And the off option will keep the graph still without rearranging the nodes at all. Below the physics section, we can set the automatic behavior and functions of our graph. For example, we can choose to infer similar properties and relationships to the nodes with every node we load. This is identified by dotted edges, which are the lines that connect our nodes. We can also set the graph to retraverse similar properties or relationships, as well as retraverse and infer similar properties and relationships. We can choose both or none, depending on the exploration we would like to perform. Beneath that, we have the option to change the shape of the nodes on the graph, and also the option to scale the node sizes based on different options such as relationships, either incoming or outgoing, scaling by a specific property value, like in our case we can scale by call duration, or even scaling using graph algorithms, like PageRank or betweenness centrality when relevant. Finally, we can change the layout of the graph and choose between the default freeform, or in some cases it can be useful to view the graph in a hierarchical structure, which can be fully customized. You can change the direction, the sort, and set the spaces between the levels, the nodes, and the entire tree. Well, that sums up the Graph Explorer series. Hopefully you got all the answers you were looking for. If you still have any questions, I invite you to reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to assist. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.